We are here at the Busan Mobility Show, aka the car show here in Korea. Obviously behind me is the new Kia Tasman, but we are going to be checking out every single cool car they have here, just like we did for the Beijing Auto Show. So let's get into it. Okay, so we have a full video out of this car now already, of course, but as a bit of a taste of that video, this thing is Kia's new Ute. Its design is being led in Australia. It's going to come with a 2.2 litre turbo diesel 4-cylinder, and this thing looks awesome. It's going to have a 1-ton payload, 3.5-ton brake towing capacity, disc brakes all around, so don't worry about that either. And some cool design elements like little places for your feet to go. It does have some weird things. For example, the fender flares are black scratchy plastic and huge, but it's also quite massive as well. In fact, to my eyes, it looks bigger than a Ford Ranger or an Isuzu D-Max or a Mitsubishi Triton. So a very exciting car coming to Australia. Okay, so this one's really interesting. This is the Kia EV6 GT-Line, and this is the new facelift that you'll see here. And actually at first I was quite confused, but you can see it's got a new face to it. You can also see it comes with new alloy wheels, which look pretty cool, new colors as well. So if we step inside, you're going to notice a new steering wheel. You've got the curved display here. They're just trying to bring it up to date with their other models. Also new design. It's actually quite nice in here as well, and I do love the feel of everything, but otherwise it is very, very similar. It's just a new look, new interior. Okay, this is the EV9. Now we sell this in Australia, but I love these little LED lights in here, which don't pass our regulations, unfortunately, so we don't get that. They sell these in Australia, but they're like 150 grand for the top of the range GT line like this. It's a lot of money, and it's a lot of car, but a lot of money. Okay, so this has only recently been revealed. This is the EV3. It's built on the same eGMP platform that you'll find on a lot of Kia Hyundai products, but instead of 800 volt architecture, it's 400 volt architecture, and it's going to start around 50 grand in Australia. So really trying to take that fight to the BYD Atto 3. It does look very similar, but quite a lot smaller versus the EV5, which is going to launch in Australia, but has been delayed due to some quality issues apparently. If we take a look at the side, I really like these wheels. They look very, very nice indeed. And the rest of the car, like you can see, is quite small, very, very boxy. But my favorite angle is actually the back. If we take a look at it, I'm actually here with Hyundai, so I've got to be careful, but we've seen a few of these driving around testing at Namyang. You can see these really cool LED lights, and I love the design. Even though it's got a very small window here, you can actually see through there, hopefully, that there's a little camera, and that provides a reverse mirror. It'll go up to somewhere around 70 grand, 0 to 100 in the mid 4 seconds for the top of the range, and I think it looks good. Let's check out the interior. Alrighty, so if we come inside, it's actually really, really nice. So a very open area here, faux leathers everywhere, but soft touch as well. It's all recycled material, so you're not going to find any real leather in here. By the way, this will come with about an 84 kilowatt hour battery at the top level, which is quite big, and over 600 kilometers of WLTP range, which is actually very, very good indeed. There might also be a GT model of this, which will be 0 to 100 in just under 4 seconds, but we did also recently check out the Zeekr X, and you should go watch that review. Very similar in size to this, so there's a lot of competition in this small mid-size SUV segment. Cool. Alrighty, and then if we come into the back, you can see I'm 5'11". Comfort access. I've actually got heaps of room here. My legs are at a decent angle, though the floor is quite high. Headroom as well is very, very good. So like I said, if this comes to Australia, which it will actually, the EV3 and the EV4, it'll do well. Let's check out some other cars. I don't know what this is, but we have to catch the new EV6. I don't know what, oh, we've sped up. We've GT'd. I think I was supposed to go 497 kilometers, which is its WLTP, but I didn't. I went over and we died. Let's check out something else. All right, now we're here with the Genesis. We're at the Genesis stand, and this is the Electrified G80. Now, like I said, we're here with Hyundai, and we've also seen some Genesis stuff. We've seen them pull off the covers of this, some other cool Genesis we'll see in a second, but I think this is one of the most slept on EVs sold in Australia. It's a large luxury SUV, not quite the G90 that they have here in Korea, which we've also seen, but you do get some beautiful new features. Like, look at these monoblock wheels. It's like a Mercedes Maybach. You've also got the fully plugged up grille. It's a subtle look facelift, so not much has changed on the outside, but you do get some new nice features on the inside. New lights as well to bring it up to date with their latest design. Super duper bright, by the way, super duper bright. And I love the paint color as well. It's like a lavendery-ish. Okay, so let's check out the bum now. You can see that it's been updated just a little bit. Again, it didn't need much because it's already a beautiful car. They've roped it off, so unfortunately we can't go in, but we can put the camera up to the window. They can't stop me from doing that, so let's do that. Check this out. If we take a look at the inside, you can see that the back is this super luxurious spec, but the front is where the main changes are. So they've brought it in line now with their other models, like the GV80 Coupe, which is my current long-termer. You can see that giant, like 24-inch display. It's like one continuous display. A redesigned center console as well. So it's just a gorgeous, stunning thing. Camera lady, come back here, hold it. Yeah, well, that's the right way. All right, let's check out another car. Okay, so now behind me is what Genesis are going to be selling probably within the next couple of years, and that is their Neolum concept. But it's really like a GV90, essentially supposed to go up against a Mercedes Maybach, and it does look epic. It looks so good. Again, massive monoblock wheels, because in Korea, they actually love monoblock wheels like you'd find on a Mercedes Maybach S680, for example. We don't actually know what powertrains it's going to come with, but whatever it comes with, I'm sure it'll be very, very good. If we come across this way here, so this likely won't make it to production, but you can see that there's no B pillar, it's just completely open, and a really beautiful interior there as well. And apparently the sound system has been calibrated by some sort of professor and is really, really good. And you're also going to notice that there's no creases, no bends in the body. It's supposed to look very much like Mazda's design, a big blob essentially. Let's check out the bum. Check this out. So again, you've got this dual line at the back. I love the design of the bum. It gives me a little bit of a hearse vibe, but in a good way. Just manly, masculine. I think it's very cool, and it's so gorgeous, so elegant. If this comes into production, mark my words, I will consider buying one. Okay, now this is one of my favorite because it just looks so good. So this is, I always forget the name, let me read this out here. It's the Genesis X Grand Racer VGT concept. They've also had a Gran Turismo, which is like this, but not so much of a race car, but just a really cool like hypercar. It has about 1,500 horsepower, 1,000 foot-pounds of torque, whatever that is. I'll put that up on the display now. And this is finished in Magma Orange, which is their new kind of hero color for their entire Magma range, which is their high performance range. It looks amazing on the outside. I'll put some pictures up of the concept photos of the inside, but they are likely to make this into a production car of some sort. Not this one here, the Gran Turismo, a very limited run at some point. Whatever they do though, they can't f it up. It's that beautiful. Okay, so this is actually the main reason that we're even here in Korea. They're launching this. In Korea, they call it the Casper Electric, but in Australia, we're calling it the Insta. And it's going to be one of the cheapest new EVs that you can buy in Australia, starting at just over 40 grand. We don't know specific pricing. And I have done a full review of the prototype. So this is my first time seeing it in the flesh without all the camouflage on. And it does look really, really good. But if you want to learn more about how it drives, what the interior is like, you need to check out my full review. I will link that down below. But let's take a look at its bum. Okay, so like I said, the last one I looked at was fully camouflaged, but this is nice and open. So here you can see these parametric pixels. Now, like I said, this is called the Casper EV here. It's actually based on a Casper internal combustion engine, like tiny SUV thing, but they've extended out the wheelbase by 180 millimeters to make it, well, a bit larger on the inside because you kind of need it. But check out this little detail over here. One of the things they love and they keep pointing out is this little smiley face here. Apparently that's the Casper range, just the Casper way, just a little smiley face. Now, in terms of range, you're going to be getting about 310 kilometers of range, and I actually timed the 0 to 100 of this thing, to be fair, with 3 adults on the inside, and it was around. But check out this interior. Oh, okay, so we have to be quick here because there's a lot of people fighting for this car. But if we come inside, you're gonna see a really nice interior space. This is in white. The pre-production I had was all in black, but you do get lots of scratchy materials in places. It is a budget EV at the end of the day, but a very nice place to be. Again, if you wanna learn more about this, watch the review. I'll link it down below. Okay, so this Hyundai is after my heart. This is the N Vision 74. It's actually based on a 1974 design, the Pony Coupe that they released, Hyundai, back in 1974. This thing is a wicked end product, and I think it looks absolutely amazing, especially if you come around here to the side. You're going to see these huge like aero wheels. So it has 500 kilowatt of power to the rear wheels, 800 newton meters of torque to the rear wheels, and it's a hydrogen electric car. So it's powered by hydrogen with like a 65 kilowatt hour battery, and it just looks absolutely insane. And I think my favorite angle is actually the bum, because you get this huge amount of aero here. By the way, this is where you fill up the hydrogen, and it just looks so totally epic. They say that this will be coming out again as a real car, at least in some form, and I really hope it does because it is gorgeous. Excuse me, sir, you can't park here. Sir? Sir? Now, this might look just like any generic Hyundai Staria, but we actually saw these bombing it around in Namyang on their test facilities in full camouflage, because this is actually a ST1, they call it. It's a fully electric Hyundai Staria, essentially, with a cargo bed. You can get it as an ice truck, they call it, or refrigerated, or you can get it as a standard cargo, and you can see here that this is actually where you charge it up. Now, in terms of its specs, it's got 160 kilowatt of power, 350 newton meters of torque. It has a 76.1 kilowatt hour battery, which is actually a decent size, and it will do about 317 kilometers of range, so pretty good. Let's check out the interior though, because I love minivans. Okay, so we come in and, oh, leather seats. You don't often see that in a Staria. You have a nice armrest, nice leather steering wheel, heaps of storage all around. I love this. It's also been updated with this digital display up in front of you, which is very, very cool indeed. And I think it gives a little hint as to what we are going to see when they do eventually bring out the electric Staria to Australia. And by the way, you can come in here and see this really quickly, a little universal socket there, because of course this thing, it's got a big battery, you can charge a lot of devices. And in terms of the boot, it's actually got bucket loads of space. It's a big square essentially. So I reckon this will be great as a delivery van or really anything you want. And I hope they bring it to Australia. It's sick. Okay, so the BMW stand has a few new cool cars. This one here is the facelifted BMW M4. You can tell it's facelifted by these new like saber-tooth lights here. Otherwise, you got the same grille. So if you don't like the big kidney grills, you're not gonna like this, but I do like the color as well. Under the bonnet, you still get the same S58, which is the twin scroll turbocharged 6-cylinder, inline 6 of course. Puts out now 390 kilowatt of power, so about 15 kilowatt extra power. Can't wait to drive that. It's just gonna be bonkers. If we come this way as well and take a sneaky peek on the interior, come over here, trusty camera lady. Look at this. Open that up, and you're going to notice a new flat bottom steering wheel. You've also got iDrive 9 now, so they've updated that too. Otherwise, it does look pretty much the same. Also, the bum has gotten a little update too, so you get these really cool 3D effect lights at the back. I love that design too, and it's just a beautiful M4. Let's look at some other BMWs. And by next BMW, I actually just mean the next Mini. So this is the Mini Cooper. It's a cute little new Mini Cooper, except it's actually built on the same platform as before, but they've actually shrunk the dimensions to make it a bit more mini, because it's been growing and growing over the years, but now it looks better. Other headlining thing is that this is built in China, I believe, at least the EV certainly is, by GWM, and this is the EV, so you can see a plugged up grille here. I do love the mini lights and some very bright LEDs there too. This is also the 3-door model, but it will come out in a 5-door, I believe. Maybe not. Let me know in the comment section below. I've forgotten, I'm stupid, but I love the interior. Let's check that out. If we come inside, clearly very small people here because this seat is tiny, but anyway, beautiful faux leather steering wheel. It's all stitch dashes up here. If you want to learn more about this interior, go watch my Mini Countryman review, because I actually went over to Portugal earlier this year to check it out, and this is pretty much the same, but essentially everything in here is now vegan, but it's also really, really nice. Love this new display here. It's actually made by Samsung, super snappy, very responsive, and when you change between your drive modes, it does a yell, but I'm not sure if it'll do it here. There you go. Barely hear it, but it's there. Very cool. Let's check out the bum. Okay, so this is the bum, and I love it for one reason, and these lights here, they're actually customizable, so you can change the way that they look. It does not have a very big boot space at all. It's still absolutely tiny. The thing I love about the Mini Cooper is that it is just tiny. It's a little city car, unlike its brother, the Mini Countryman, which has grown in size. This is based now on the X1 platform. It's just huge, still a Mini, but a big Mini. And if you want to learn more about that, again, it's down below. A lot of down belows in this video. This is an M4 if it did a little bit of meth. So this is a bit of a random one. Renault in Korea is actually really, really big. They used to partner with Samsung, made models SM5, SM6, SM7, but they don't do that anymore, but they're still big here. And they've just unveiled this, a global unveiling of the Renault Gran Koleos. Now, we actually sell the Koleos in Australia, but it is quite old. This seems to be a plug-in hybrid of sorts. I actually have no idea because I wasn't invited to this, and I cannot find any information about it online. So everything here is in Korean. I'm doing my best, but it does look really good, especially in this matte paint. I love the new Renault badge. It's actually a very sexy car. Let's check out the interior. All right, so I've always been quite partial to French interiors. Oh, the first thing I noticed is how soft these seats are. Really nice leather steering wheel with like the BMW M stitching on it. That's a bit weird. Very nice on the inside though. Soft touch absolutely everywhere. A couple of really massive displays too. Oh, and one over here. This is very Chinese market. So this is for your passengers so they can watch different things. And actually as the driver, I can't see it unless I go here. It's got very narrow field of view. so you don't get distracted if your passenger is watching something here. But yeah, very nice interior. Let's check out the bum. I really like the look of this thing, especially in matte paint. You cannot accuse French cars of not being beautiful. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. Very Cayenne-esque, actually. Again, the new Renault badge, but this is the Gran Koleos. My first time seeing it too. Let me know in the comment section more about this. I seriously have no idea. Alrighty guys, so that is the Busan Motor Show, the Korean auto show. This place has been absolutely crazy, but it's not too big. There are some really exciting models though, like the Insta, like the Kia Tasman, some really cool stuff. And as you can see, they're bringing more cars in like this Ioniq 5N, one of the greatest EVs I think I've ever driven. Let me know what you guys thought of this video down in the comment section below. If you did like it, please do give it a thumbs up and share this video with a friend. It really, really helps the channel out. As always, if you want to buy any new car like an Ioniq 5N, head to carsauce.com/buy. We will get you the best deals with cars that are actually in stock. And make sure you subscribe because we have a lot more motor shows we're attending this year. Ciao for now.